Hi, Emily from Little Blue Book here, and today I am doing a book review on both the fourth and fifth book in the selection series, which is written by Kira Cass. The two books are The Heir and then The Crown. So, this video is spoiler-free for these two books. I can't make any promises about the first three, as stuff that happens in that is definitely important in these two books. So the way I normally think of the selection series is it's 5 books, which makes up the one series. But the first 3 books are America stories, and then the second 2 books are Edelyn stories. So, spoiler, America ends up with Maxon, as I hope you were all rooting for, because I definitely was. And I kind of wasn't surprised. But Edelyn is their daughter, and she is one of four children. She has a twin brother, and then 2 younger brothers. So, yes, 4 children. And then these 2 books follow Edelyn's story, as I said. It's Edelyn's selection. So unlike, well, America didn't really want to be the selection, but Edelyn didn't want to have this selection. But her parent, the people are unhappy since the castes have been taken away. So they hope that Edelyn's selection will help appease people. So as the oldest, Edelyn is going to become queen. So, the people aren't very happy, like the people of Elia, aren't very happy with, how everything's been running since the castes have been taken away, because even though they're gone, there's still stigma between 1s and 8s and all that when people are trying to get jobs and that, so the people are unhappy. So they hope that Edelyn's selection will help appease the people and kind of distract them almost from what's going on. And Edelyn doesn't want to do this, so but she is a good daughter and she does it anyways. So in the first book, Edelyn's really not into it. She's just planning on kind of going through it, going through the motions, not really thinking she'll find anyone. She's not very open-minded about the whole ordeal. So as you read it, she's kind of, I don't know, I found her kind of annoying almost in the first book of her story, because she's just so like hot, like proud and kind of full of herself, because she's like, I'm the queen, I'm so great and everything, but she's just not opening her heart to anything that could happen. She's just trying to go through it, which I kind of understand what she's coming from, because, you know, getting thrown into something with a whole bunch of guys just to appease the people, that's probably a whole lot of, it's a big burden to have to do this for an entire kingdom. At the end of this book, there is a huge plot twist. And I think I would have been totally, like, thrown back if my one friend hadn't spoiled it to me. But I was shocked, and I was very sad. But without revealing what it is, it all ends up okay in the end. But that normally is how it goes with these kind of books. So the second book or fifth book, I suppose, is The Crown, which I think is even shorter. I read it pretty fast. But it is, again, about Edelyn, and then in this story, due to the circumstances that have happened because of the plot twist in the last book, Edelyn is now in control because King Maxon is worrying about some other stuff that I won't say. But Edelyn is kind of taking place as queen. And throughout this book, I think there's a lot of character evolution with her, which I really loved, because she steps up and she grows up and she just opens her mind and she just accepts what's happening with an open mind, and she takes control of everything that's going on in her life, and it's crazy, and with different people that have left and stuff that's happening with her family, and the kingdom is unhappy. It's a lot of pressure, but I think the way she handles it in the end is very good. And I also love the kind of surprise romance that the suitor, or who she ends up with, I was really happy, because between the first book, the fourth book, And this one, while I was waiting, I was like, I would not be satisfied if she ended up with any of the guys that are left. And for the first part of this book, I was like, either she ends up alone or something. I don't think I'm gonna be able to be happy with what happens. But as I saw what was going to unfold, I just took a step back and I was like, you know what? This is good. This is good. It's not quite what I expected, but I'm definitely happy with who she ends up with and her own little happily ever after like her mother had. And as being queen, as she becomes crowned. Well, it's called The Crown. That's probably a bit of a spoiler, I'm sorry. But yeah, a lot of times when it comes to series and standalone books as well, I have mixed feelings about sequels. And to me, these two books are definitely a sequel because it comes after America's Story and after everything that happens in those three books. So I definitely view them as sequels. But I was very happy with how Kira Cass portrayed all the characters. There wasn't some crazy changes in their personalities or anything. Or in the world or that. I don't know, I just sometimes find that they can come across as more like fan fiction as opposed as the real world which has been written. And don't get me wrong, I love fan fiction, but this just really had more the second book than the first, because the first as I was reading it, I felt more like I was reading, fan fiction. But especially in the second book, I felt that it was definitely Kira Cass's writing and that it was part of the Selection series as a whole. They all fit together lovely. And I just really enjoy the series. I'd probably give it 4 stars. 3.8. It's a really good series, and if you kind of like The Bachelorette, Hunger Games, well, not Hunger Games, no one really dies, but there is the case system, which is kind of Hunger Games-esque, I suppose. I definitely suggest reading the Selection series. It's quick read, 5 books, but they're pretty short. They're like 300-page books. And it's definitely a series I recommend. I recommended it to one of my friends, and she just fell in love with it. And she didn't hate reading before, but she didn't really enjoy it. It was more kind of like a must thing. But she read this series, and she just couldn't put it down, and I definitely recommend reading the Selection series. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, comment, like, etc. I'm having some troubles getting Megan's video up. I'll hopefully be able to upload it for her on Friday because she's away at camp. Bye!